10 Cloverfield Lane is the directorial debut of Dan Trachtenberg and stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman and John Gallagher Jr. And it is the sequel? No. Prequel? No. Exists in the same universe as? No, not that either. It has something to do with Cloverfield, I think. So the trailer for this movie kind of just dropped out of nowhere. It just showed up 2 months before the movie came out and it got me excited right away. I thought, oh great, we're going to get some more Cloverfield, because I actually did quite enjoy the first Cloverfield movie. I thought it was a good use, a different use of the found footage, having it in like a blockbuster action movie setting instead of being something really sort of small and singular. But then J.J. Abrams came out and he sort of said it's a blood relative, a spiritual success, and not really something that exists in the same universe or around the same timeline. So going into this movie, that is very important to keep that in mind. But this movie kicks off with Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character crashing a car, and she's found by John Goodman's character, and he takes her to his bunker because he believes that the world has come to an end, and he's trying to convince her of that fact. And naturally, she's obviously a little bit skeptical. She's a little bit wary of John Goodman's character. It doesn't seem quite all there. Seems like a bit of a conspiracy theory nut. Also in the bunker with them is Emmett, played by John Gallagher Jr., and he, along with John Goodman, does believe that all this has happened, but he is also himself very skeptical. So this movie revolves around these three characters coexisting in this bunker. There's a lot of mistrust between a lot of the characters, and as a viewer, you're not really sure who is in the right, because we never see outside. We only see as much of the outside world as the characters do, so we have to make our own conclusions as to whether, you know, one person's telling the truth, one person is lying. We're not too sure. And this movie does a really good job of lulling you into a false sense of security, making you believe that, yeah, okay, this point of view is correct, or this thing is right, and then completely shattering that. And it keeps you guessing for the entire length of the movie, up until about the last 5 minutes. It's also very claustrophobic in a lot of parts. We are spending most of this movie in this tiny little bunker with these three characters, and you can always feel that sort of underlying little bit of tension between them all. This movie will make you feel uncomfortable for pretty much its entire run length. And there are some even more claustrophobic moments in an air vent, which, if you do suffer from claustrophobia, maybe don't go see this movie, because my God, was that just really, really intense, and I was sort of sliding down in my chair going, oh God, no, I can't deal with this right now. As this movie is very low budget and spends the majority of its runtime in this bunker, it really comes down to the performances of these characters. And thankfully, all three actors do a really, really good job in this movie. You really do believe the unease and the distrust that Mary Elizabeth Winstead's going through. You do believe sort of the crazy, on edge sort of John Goodman the entire time. You're never really sure if he's all there or not. And John Gallagher Jr.'s character is sort of going along with the ride. He believes John Goodman at first, but then Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she starts to put a bit of doubt in his head, and they start to sort of scheme against him. And there are about 5 twists in this movie, like a time when the movie's like, okay, it's going in this direction now, and then all of a sudden it will just go in a completely different direction you weren't expecting. And that is one of the major strengths of this movie. It really does come down to a claustrophobic thriller. It keeps you guessing. The characters are really good. Just don't go into it expecting big monsters and explosions. So with all that being said, I'm giving 10 Cloverfield Lane 4 out of 5. J.J. Abrams. So have you seen 10 Cloverfield Lane? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Click right here for all your movie needs. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.